he was opposed to anything, legislations against homosexuality. What do you say to that? Oh, now you have to pick and choose what Einstein you like now, right? Up to now you liked Einstein. Now you say, now he was pro-gay. Okay, I'm not going to like him anymore. Okay. He was a pacifist. However, do you know what is a pacifist? A pacifist is a person who is opposed to war, any kind of war. So there are two kinds of pacifists. One is absolute and one is, forget the name. So an absolute pacifist is whatever happens, he is not going to take an arms to fight back. He will get killed. He'd rather get killed than fight back. There's the other kind of pacifist who will say he will never attack anyone, but if he's attacked, he will defend himself. So those are two major divisions of pacifism. So I don't know which one he was. So anyway, he was a pacifist, and he was, however, he was instrumental in the making of the atomic bomb, the Manhattan Project. Okay? That reminds me of the Dalai Lama. Okay? So anyway, so, we have here, I did not say that I was an absolute pacifist, but rather that I was always been a convinced pacifist. I'm a dedicated but not an absolute pacifist. Very good? Good lawyer? Yeah? Let's look at, he was a socialist versus being a capitalist. He was a prominent supporter of Zionism. And you know what Zionism is. I hope I don't have to go into that. In fact, he was, look at his quotation here. He wrote, I am deeply moved by the offer from our state of Israel. For what? He was being offered the presidency of the state of Israel. And at once saddened and ashamed that I cannot accept it. Okay? He was always concerned about the Jewish identity. If you look at this history of this intellectual, how it parallels the struggles of modern day Muslims and Muslim identity is very interesting. But that's a, like a separate topic altogether. So he believed in absolute monotheist. I seriously doubt that Jesus himself said that he was God, for he was too much a Jew to violate that great commandment. Hear, O Israel, eternal is our God, and he is one, not two or three. He clarified that he is not an atheist, but probably agnostic, or better, he liked to call himself a religious non-believer, whatever that meant. Okay? He was a determinist. Let me translate it in Urdu. तकदीर पर यकीन करते थे. A scientist believing in तकदीर is a paradox. But आप देखें उसको. आज है family life पे आते हैं. A year before they married, तो इन्होंने जो शादी की थी, पहले शादी से पहले बच्चा पैदा कर दिया था. ठीक है? तो उन्होंने क्या हुआ, वो बच्ची जो पैदा हुई उसके साथ क्या किया होगा. आइंस्टाइन है, बड़े आदमी है, अभी किसी ने कहा ना बुखारी, और तो उन्होंने क्या किया होगा बच्चे के साथ, कोई आइडिया किसी का?
बच्चे को अपना लिया होगा, नाम दिया होगा अपना, चलो गलती हो गई.
हाँ, गलती हो गई, ये बात तो सही है, गलती हो गई, बच्चे को भगा दिया. Nobody knows what has happened to this child. बहुत कोशिश की है लोगों ने ट्रेस करने की कि what happened to this child. This is very unfortunate. And Einstein never mentioned about this child ever in his life. बेगम उसके वजह से जो है काफी, a woman is a woman, and it caused a lot of problems. And in this way, his wife was very instrumental in him checking of the theory of relativity, the mathematical formulations. Einstein never acknowledged our health. So much for humanity, equality, socialism.
उसको तो बल्कि डिवोर्स कर दिया सिस्टम बाद में.
अभी तो शुरू हुआ है बात. And so much so that he was so much, especially with the birth of the children and his attitude and all this thing, his wife, he started an affair. And in fact, not one affair, but multiple affairs. So his wife said, okay, I'm going. So, but before the divorce was finalized, these are some of the conditions he placed if what's her name? Mileva wanted to remain married to him. Can you read some of them? This is one of the greatest intellectuals in history. Forget about Rasulullah. Ashraf Ali Thanvi and Ahmad Raza. These are just nowadays. Forget about them. This kind of demand they will not make on their wives.
She was also a physicist.
She was a brilliant physicist. She accepted the conditions. He later wrote to her again to make sure she grabbed that this was going to be all business in the future and that personal aspects must be reduced to a tiny remnant. And he vowed, in return, I assure you of proper comportment on my part, such as I would exercise to any woman as a stranger. Here is a list of people he had affairs with. Okay. He was called a ladies' man. He could not resist anything in his court. This is what was his impression at the institute he was there. He had big problems with his son. The younger son ended up in a mental asylum. So before I go on to the next slide, let's review this information. How many of you in this room would know? बेचारा बच्चा वो किनारे बैठा हुआ है, ठीक है? आप ये बताएं, how many of you knew about this aspect of Einstein's life?
They don't teach these things.
Does this affect your perception of Einstein today? I want to start with you.
Not mine.
No, it doesn't affect anything.
Because we look him in the light of what his contributions towards the science.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where exactly are we going with this.
Okay, my problem is that since they have taught this new aqidah to us, that if somebody has done something good in one field, let him alone in his private life. So separation of public life and private life has been so deeply inculcated into our minds that when you come up with allegation on somebody's personal life, that does not make any difference to what actually he has contributed in other fields.
Okay. So, Zubair bhai, you have any comments?
No, not really.
Adnan bhai? बैठा ले इसको.
सेकंड एस्पेक्ट जो बताया ये चीजें तो नॉलेज नहीं थी मेरे से. बस.
Okay. Shahid bhai, you have some comments?
I did know a little, some of the stuff, but not like this much detail.
अरे कोई ज़्यादा डिटेल मुझे ज़्यादा और पता लगी जो
आप कुछ
कहेंगे? नहीं, बस मुस्बत पहलू उनके सामने आते रहे, उसी को अप्रिशिएट करते रहे.
So let me address this point here. This is very important. This is the reason why I went wrong. I'm not ignoring you, but we already discussed this. So the point I'm trying to make here is why I went round table, and I wanted this point to come out. How does this affect physics that we appreciate?
Today's one, no. I'm sorry, jumping up, but I'm saying today's one doesn't matter.
We are, like Brother Fawad just pointed out, we have been so brainwashed with this that we say it shouldn't, it doesn't, right?
Okay.
Let
I
me ask
don't
you
think
this.
brainwash is a good word.
What-
I think it's an aqidah, new aqidah, a
Yeah.
concept of how to look at people. This has been so much widespread, widely accepted as a norm for modern humanity that if somebody has done something good in one field and done bad in another field, so we are dealing those things separately,
So let me answer this question further.
right?
Let me answer this. What does physics tell us today about? What is the aim of physics? Is it to make chairs, light, computer? Is that all that physics is doing?
Basically.
That's not correct. That's why you are not connecting these two. Physics is also telling us how the universe started. Right or wrong?
That's angle, yeah.
That's not an angle. That's something that you always put at the back of your mind. Because mankind, human beings, what they see is what does Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran? The deception of the dunya, the illusion, the beauty, the computer, physics. But it's also telling you about evolution. It's also telling you where you are going to. That's why people are saying that. Why are the atheists today? Because physics tells you there's nothing after this life. That's what it tells you.
Physics tells us that if we can't perceive anything, why
It doesn't
are we
exist.
believing it?
Yeah, exactly.
And what Allah said in Quran, that يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرُ وَيُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. So the tafsil of ayat, which actually science did, supposed to elevate our iman.
But actually it's taking us away
what
from-
we did, we said, oh, we found out how it's working. For instance, Quran, and Allah says in Quran, وَمَنْ سَأَلَ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَسَخَّرَ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ.
Exactly.
Now, science is telling us how. مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Science is telling you how. So since they're telling you how, so you remove God from there and put science in there. So physics is actually day by day drawing people towards a new religion.
Okay. So let's pause here. So let's continue. So what is happening is, what happens is, there's a rule in life. And Allah Ta'ala has emphasized that rule in Surah Hujurat. Allah Ta'ala has made, this is a sunnah that Allah Ta'ala has put on all of us. If someone comes to you with a message and is a fasiq, check, verify the news. Yes?
So
If I come to you and you know that I am a liar in some other field with a news, it's incumbent upon you to verify that news. If you know me as a trustworthy person, then you will accept it. If I told you that the moon became green, the moon became green in yesterday in Pakistan, you're not going to accept it. You don't know me. But if it's somebody you trust, you will say, you pay attention to. So what is happening today is, when these people, let's do the connection now, when these people are talking about the origins of the universe, the fate of the universe, the purpose of life, and equality, justice, orientation, you understand, gender orientation, you are paying attention to them. But you forgot that they are liars and cheaters. And you have to verify that news. You forgot. Because the aqidah, the school, the system, I grew up with it. This is how I started work. Let me tell you guys. I went with tattered jeans, cut sleeves, long, hair, just the bali was missing. Okay? I literally went with that to work, and nobody could touch me because I was very good at my work. I could easily tell the manager, look, this is how I dress, this is my identity, you don't come near me. And he used to praise me. He used to praise me. He said, he's a very good person. And I just did it on my purpose. I showed everybody that this is what is the system about. I went to school, my class, in night pajamas, to show everybody that how form and content has been divorced from each other. This wasn't me. I was proving my point that, look, people, just because you are good doesn't mean you have to be whole. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the messenger. He's whole. His whole life is presented as an example. You don't take. If that was the case, then this is the Sahaba. Look at Umar and Abu Bakr and Ali and Usman. This incident from the life of Umar radhiallahu anhu is not even, I would say, life. He's just about to pass away from the dunya. Think about it. Think about how these people are in their life. Wallahi, this incident is so touching. If you think about it, he was stabbed. Blood is coming out. He's about to die, and the doctor comes in. And he says, this is it. Nominate the Khalifa. He says, okay, and he was going to do that. Then he's saying, look at it. The person who has been promised that the Nabuwa is after him. The person who has, Rasulullah said,
if there would be a prophet after me, we would have been Umar.
More than that, forget that was an if statement. That was an if statement, right? Look at the statement that will happen. On the day of resurrection, Abu Bakr will be on the right and Umar will be on the left, raised together. This is not conditional. This is not conditional. That was conditional. This is not conditional. Look at this attitude of this person. Look at the attitude of this person. He says, what is going to happen to Umar? What is going to happen to Umar when he will stand before his Rabb on the day of Qiyamah? And what's his name? Abdullah ibn Abbas radhiallahu anhu was there, and he was saying, oh, don't worry about it, all the glad tidings and the good things that you have done. And look at it. The person, his strength is gone. I want you guys to visualize this, please. His strength is gone. His life is going away. And he suddenly jumps up. He says, Abdullah, are you going to verify this? Are you willing to repeat this in front of Allah? Look at this. Unbelievable. That is the yaqeen of standing before Allah. This is the character. This is his motivation. Are you going to compare these persons with these people who has refused to acknowledge his wife? He has refused to acknowledge his daughter. Is he going to tell you how the universe started? Are you going to believe him? Are you going to accept it? Versus the person who, look at it. I mean, if I tell you the sequence of Umar radhiallahu anhu's, passing away, it is mind-boggling. I can give you a full 2 hour, just from the moment he was stabbed to the point he departed from this dunya. It is mind-boggling, the statements he has said. So think about it. Are we going to accept the reality of the dunya, the reality of from people, the theory of relativity, from a person who could not do justice in his own household? So let's go on. I think I only speak for a little while because I really don't want to continue on this without contextual things. So the next part of this
जो अभी आपने बात कही है कि वो टोटलिटी में होल देखना चाहिए, जैसे कोई पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट है और नहीं तो टोटल. लेकिन ये एग्जांपल तो हमें शायद हो सकता है हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की ज़ात में ही मिले, या वो बहुत ही आइडियल पर्सनैलिटी जो कि तमाम उससे मुबर्रा हो.
यस.
तो हर शख्स के अंदर ही कुछ ना कुछ ऐसी वो ज़रूर होगी. ये ज़रूर हो सकता है कि उसके मतलब सीवियरिटी डिफरेंट हो उसकी.
क्वेश्चन, इज दैट अ क्वेश्चन और कमेंट?
नहीं तो मतलब इस चीज को डिफरेंशिएट आप मतलब किस बुनियाद पे करेंगे जब
किस मैं आप सही बात है आपकी बात समझा नहीं है.
इनका क्वेश्चन ये है कि देखें अब when you start comparing people of today's world, I'm not talking about prophets specifically, take the prophets out, then when you're judging these people, you might see another alim, let's say, scholar of today, and you might see in their personal life they also have some issues. Then how are you going to judge that scholar and this?
So
No, actually, these scientists and these thinkers, philosophers, they don't stand as an alim.
I'm just saying
They
what
don't.
he's giving
They
some
don't.
that, right?
सही हाँ?
Reason is alim is the one who takes information and delivers information. They are the creator of information, creator of ideas.
No. There are 2 points that you should remember this before you start doing comparisons. Number one, do we have a standard? Should there be a standard against which people should be measured?
Right. Yes. Today we have a golden rule as a standard,
Agreed?
and then there's the standard of religions.
No. There has to be a standard against which you measure people, and that standard is Rasulullah.
This is the Islamic standard.
That is the standard. Muslims.
This is the
So if
Islamic
you are today's scholar Adnan Khan wants to be measured, he's going to be measured against who? He's not going to be measured against anybody. He's going to be measured against the Sahaba, the Rasul, the Sahaba, the Salaf. Period. He will fall short. No problem. No problem. But that is the standard. The problem is there's no standard. Then that's a problem.
Then they come up with the golden rule.
Then you become exactly your own rules. Do you understand? There has to be if somebody comes to me, who is talking this stuff, I do not even measure, forget about, the Salaf. I don't think I can even measure against a alim, a qari, a hafiz. That is, my daughters, the person who is teaching my daughters, I don't measure against him. I don't measure against him.
But your attempt of self-measuring actually has been eliminated by this aggressive movement of stop judging.
No, not stop judging. Your private life is different from your public life.
And on top of it, stop judging.
So let me clarify this statement here, this thing here. What I'm talking about does not compare. Again, let me see. Logic is different from reality. These things that I talk, somebody can say, "Oh, you're very knowledgeable." But the day do you know when it is going to matter? These things in Jannah, and what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Allah Ta'ala would say, take your ranks in Jannah. According to what? According to what?
Different things. One is Quran.
One is Quran. So the more the one knows, the higher the rank is. So think about it. These are the standards we are going to be measured against. The problem is we have changed our standards. That's why we are getting confused.
This is what happens. When you let another deen come and rule you, it is bound to happen. You can't stop it.
I say everybody knows a scale, right? Scale.
Yeah.
You go to stuff, right?
Balance or
balance.
scale?
Balance is balance scale. If this is the standard 1 kilogram, thing, and I say it is not, this is the one now. Can you really compare how many apples and how many grapes I got in this two? I can't, because I've changed the standard. That's what the English expression says: apples and oranges, chalk and cheese. Right? You can't compare two different things. The standard here. So let's go on to the next one.